What's up, Pedalheads? It's your main man, Eddie Monster here, back with another edition of Pedal TV News. That's right, episode 2 is finally here. But before we get into it, I just want to remind all of you to please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate every single one of you that subscribes to this channel, and we try to come up with as much content as humanly possible like this, which takes a little time and a lot of work, believe me. But anyways, let's get right into it. I hate to start the news with a story like this, but the metal world and the rock world has lost a true legend. That's right, Phil Campbell, who you all will remember as the guitar player for Motorhead from 1984 to the band's end in 2015, has passed away at the age of 64 on March 13th, 2026. That's right, I was saddened to hear of this news. I posted it on our Instagram page. You can find the full thing there. But for all those of you that do know, we all know he was a legend, true legend. At 13 years old, he was already semi-professional in the music world, playing in a ton of bands in and around Wales. It was in 1980 or 81, I believe, he started Persian Risk, which was his own metal band, before taking over for Brian Robertson in Motorhead in 1984. That's right, he was a part of albums like Orgasmatron, Rock and Roll, March or Die, The World Is Yours, and then the final album, obviously, Bad Magic. He will definitely be missed. He also started a band, by the way, with his 3 kids. That's right, Todd, Dane, and Tyler. It was Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons. So I just wanted to take the time to send my condolences to the family and friends of Phil Campbell. Another legend is indeed gone. Rest in peace, Phil Campbell. In 1988, Queensryche unleashed what I believe to be one of the most brilliant albums in Operation Mindcrime. They would come up with the sequel in 2006, only for the band to have that most infamous incident in Brazil, which saw Geoff Tate exit the band in 2012. But now, Geoff Tate has a special announcement regarding Operation Mindcrime 3. Let's see. So according to Geoff Tate, the story focuses on Dr. X instead of Nikki, and I can't remember her name, but I think it's Sister Mary, right? So this is kind of an origin story, so to speak, for Queensryche fans that are looking forward to what Geoff Tate is going to be releasing, and he's working with some unbelievable musicians on this record. So I look forward to it. Remember, it comes out May 3rd, Operation Mindcrime 3 by Geoff Tate. You can catch him now in Europe doing the Operation Mindcrime, the final tour. I believe it's him playing it. That's it for good. So make sure you go and you check that out. In other news, Elijah Blue Allman, that's right, the son of Cher and Dwayne Allman and the lead singer of the band Deadsy, was arrested twice in New Hampshire. Not once, twice. That's right. The first charge happened on February 27th when he was charged with 2 counts of simple assault, 1 count of criminal trespassing, and 1 count of criminal threatening when he posed as the father of a prospective student at a school in Concord, New Hampshire. He was obviously released because on March 1st, he was given his second charge. That's right, this time for breaking into a residence in Windham, New Hampshire, where he was discovered smoking a cigarette on the couch while the owners of the home were lying in their closet, afraid of who was out there, obviously. So this time, he was charged with burglary, 2 counts of criminal mischief, and breaking of his bail. Obviously, it's been storied if you've been following it. Yeah, he's been struggling for quite some time, Elijah. Obviously, he was in a court battle with his mom, Cher, over money that was owed to him. from his father's, his late father's estate. And obviously there's the accounts of his struggles with drugs and mental health. So we're only hoping here at Pedal TV that Elijah gets the help that he so rightfully deserves and rightfully needs. Mental health is no joke these days. So obviously, hopefully he gets all the help he needs. I saw him actually, I'll never forget it, live. It was Korn's Untouchable tour. It was Deadsy and Puddle of Mud. And I was actually kind of a little impressed, Key to Gramercy Park, hearing the cover of Rush. I believe it was Tom Sawyer that they did. But anyways, hopefully he gets the help he deserves. In a more heartwarming story, I want to congratulate Jack Osborne and his wife Ari Gearhart on their birth of their daughter Ozzy Matilda Osborne, who was born on March 5th, weighing 7 pounds and 4 ounces. She, I believe, is their second child together. Their second, and this is Jack's 5th overall. Obviously, her name was a tribute to Jack's late father, Ozzy Osbourne, and we can only hope that she one day becomes the Princess of Darkness, and should we say reclaim the rightful throne that belongs to the Osbourne family? We'll see, but only time will tell. In other news, ex-Dead Kennedy singer Jello Biafra was hospitalized after suffering a stroke. That's right. The 67-year-old experienced this on March 7th, and he had this to say about it. I hopped out of my bed because I needed to pee, and my left leg just collapsed under me, and I fell to the floor. I couldn't even break the fall with my left arm because it wasn't working either. I tried to hop back up again, and I couldn't. I realized I had fallen, and I can't get up. It was at this point I thought, oh shit, I'm having a stroke. I still have a lot of great stuff in me, but right now, I got a lot of rehabbing to do. We just want to hope that Jello gets all the help he needs and deserves, and he gets back on the road, hopefully soon. Time will tell. Obviously, take care of yourself, Jello. We will see you, my brother, out there. So, all right, and some tour news. Deicide has announced a U.S. tour with Rotting Christ and Immolation. That's right, the tour starts April 9th in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and it goes all the way to May 26th in Little Rock, Arkansas. Now, I just want to remind some of you that some of the dates do not feature all the acts. Okay, there are dates that do not feature Rotting Christ, and instead they feature Cattle Decapitation, and then there are some dates that feature a few, and then some that are Deicide only, so be aware of that. Make sure you do your research to figure out what dates contain who. COC, that's right, Corrosion of Conformity, have announced they have a new live drummer, and his name is Nick Shabatura. If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. But he's a drummer who was approved by Stenton Moore, and he came recommended by Anthrax legend Charlie Benante. You can't get any better of a recommendation than that. The band's new double album, Good God, Bad Man, comes out April 3rd. The band goes on tour with Crowbot, Whores, and Clutch for some dates. It starts April 7th in Atlanta, Georgia, and it runs all the way to May 16th in New Orleans, Louisiana, which is a home show, I believe, for Pepper Keenan. Even though they're from North Carolina, I believe Pepper Keenan is from New Orleans. I could be wrong. I could be wrong in that. I don't know. The Pretty Reckless have announced their 5th studio album, Dear God, and they have a new single out entitled When I Wake Up.
I'm doing fine, killing time.
The track, Momsen has said, is a story of a dream becoming a nightmare when a life of excess leads you on a roller coaster that is doomed to crash, but you don't know it. It's a wild ride. That's right. So they've also announced the Dear God Tour, which starts July 10th in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it ends in September 26th in Silver Springs, Maryland. Because in November they head to Europe. So make sure if you want to go and see the Pretty Reckless live, you go ahead and go to their website and check it out. Scottish blackened thrash band Hellripper have unveiled a new single entitled, I don't know, it's Motor Shan, is how I believe it's said. Check it out. The track is off their upcoming album. I don't know, Cornock, I believe it was. I know I'm going to butcher that all day long. So it's due out March 27th via Century Media. Ingested have announced that they have re-recorded the vocals to their upcoming album Denigration themselves following the recent firing of Josh Davies. Here's what the band had to say. As we get close to the release of Denigration, we want to share an important update. Sean and Andrew have re-recorded all vocals across the album. When the next single drops, the updated recordings will be rolling out, and the current digital version of Merciless Reflection will be replaced. From that point forward, the new recordings will stand as the definitive edition of the record. All physical and digital versions worldwide will reflect these updated vocals. The band would continue to say, this wasn't a small decision, but it was the right one for the future of the band and the album. We're proud of how the record stands, and it represents where Ingested is today as we move forward. This incarnation of Ingested captures a specific moment in time and stands as a unique document of this chapter in our history. Alongside this, we'll begin the search for a new frontman as we build what comes next. Thank you to everyone who continues to support us. It generally means everything. In other news, for those of you that thought that Hole was going to reunite, I'm sorry to inform you, but it's just not happening. That's right. Courtney Love and Ofta Moore, the bassists, have said it's not going to happen, but they are playing together. That is one thing. So they're going to be performing apparently brand new songs. So if you're looking for a Hole reunion, you're just going to have to wait on that. Sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's kind of half of my job. All right, Unearthed has announced that they are back with Metal Blade Records. That's right, the band has re-signed with their original label, and they've got a brand new album that is going to be coming out in 2027. But here is what the band had to say about all of that. Getting another shot at working with Metal Blade Records feels nothing short of coming home. We truly got our best chance at making a life of creating music and touring during our first run with Metal Blade from 2004 to 2011. The music we're cooking is as heavy and boundary pushing as we've ever been, and we look forward to sharing it with all of you in 2027. And our last piece of news, as you all know, Sabaton has had to push back their tour dates. That's right, they haven't canceled anything, but they've had to push it back because they've had to deal with their bass player who had I don't know if you call it an illness, but inflamed arms. So I guess it's an illness. So they've had to wait for him to do his rehabbing and everything that he has to do to get better. So the band has pushed the tour, and it starts September 23rd in Nova Scotia, and it runs all the way to December 12th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That is going to do it for us here at Pedal TV News. Hopefully you are enjoying this, and as always, please subscribe to the channel. That's right, hit that subscribe button and stay connected with everything I do here at Pedal TV, whether it's Pedal TV News, 5 Minutes or Less, Eddie's Top 5, and whatever else we conjure up in here. So I will see you all next time. Stay metal.